Let's talk about how to be a better parent without yelling. I know the yelling happens because it's a last resort. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we are talking about better parenting without yelling. In this video, we're going to talk about why we get into the habit of yelling and then what we can do instead. So specifically, I'd like to get into some of the skills that can help you so that you don't have to fall into that yelling trap again. So why do we get in the habit of yelling? It's easy to do because it's just a natural human emotional response when we're feeling frustrated, when we're feeling fearful, when we're feeling attacked, when we're feeling like we don't have power. Then one of the things that the human does to try to create a sense of power for themselves, to feel more secure or to feel stronger, is to fuel up those chemicals that are pumping through the brain that are initiating emotional responses. And we create a large emotional response that helps us feel like we were in control. It's all fake. It's all synthetic. When you're truly in control, you make a choice to be in control. You don't just fake yourself out by fueling up chemicals. And when you're really in control, it's not about you controlling other people, it's about you controlling yourself. This channel is called Teaching Self-Government for a reason. Everything on this channel is about self-governing yourselves, not only for you as the parent, but also to teach your children how to self-govern themselves. When you are self-governing yourself, you take the full responsibility for being in control of yourself, not for trying to manipulate or control all the other people around you. And let's be very clear, yelling is a form of manipulation. We do it in order to intimidate other people or to show some sort of dominance or authority. If you have true authority and you're securing your authority, you actually do not need to express it with a sign of dominance like that. It should just be evident with how you conduct yourself, your wisdom, how you carry yourself. Now, maybe you're yelling because you lack some wisdom. Well, then you found a really great video and a really great channel, because what you need is to understand how good communication can happen. You need some more skills, usually, so that you don't fall into those old habits. Now, I want to just give a little disclaimer. Just because I'm going to teach you some skills right now does not mean that you will magically never yell again. You have a habit of yelling, or whoever you're thinking about potentially has a habit of yelling. It takes time to change a habit. You have to repeatedly disrupt the pattern that leads to the habit, replace it with a new habit, and then follow through even if it feels difficult. So how do you do that? Well, it's first important to recognize the moment that you fall into the habit. Is there a certain feeling that you have in your body? Or is there a thought that you get in your head that leads you to think that you have to emotionally explode in order to feel better? Once you identify what feeling or what thought comes before those outbursts, then as soon as you get that thought and the feeling, you can say, oh, wait, that's my trigger to be calm. Or you can say, I need to stop and get calm. You can give yourself a new thought, a new instruction for yourself. A self-governed person can give themselves instructions, no answers, consequences and corrections, and disagree appropriately with other people. These are the 4 basic skills of self-government that we focus on teaching our children. But we need to know them too. So I have many books that I've written, 11. Most of them are geared toward parents. But this set here, the Teaching Self-Government Children's Book set, is geared toward children, probably for ages about 12 and under. These 4 children's books each teach one of the 4 basic skills of self-government. So they teach the child how to follow instructions from you, and how to accept no answers from you and from life, how to accept consequences from you and from others, and how to disagree appropriately. But over time, they also learn how to give themselves instructions, how to give themselves no answers, how to correct themselves, and how to disagree appropriately, even with themselves, but for sure with others as well. So hopefully these can be a benefit to you. Let's just talk about one of those 4 basic skills before we move into the parenting skills, which are also important for you to understand and know. One of those 4 basic skills, I call it the gateway skill to self-government. This is the skill disagreeing appropriately. It's a 7-step process. When a person knows how to disagree appropriately, then they can look at the person or the situation, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say that they understand the other person's point of view, share their point of view, listen to what the other person has to say okay, and drop the subject. This is how you disagree appropriately. When a person can do that, it strengthens their relationships, allows them to understand other people, and oftentimes gain more understanding, and helps them feel powerful because they didn't fall into yelling or getting angry or talking back. Now, because you or whoever you're thinking about has been a yeller, don't be surprised if the children start yelling at each other or at you as well. It could end up creating habits in them because that's what they've seen for how to solve their problems. But as we proactively pre-teach them a skill like disagreeing appropriately, and we show them that that skill works by us listening to them when they use their disagree appropriately skill, then that will help them turn that corner so that they can get rid of that old habit of yelling or melting or going out of control and turn instead towards self-government. Now, there are some different rules for disagreeing appropriately that you'll want to keep in mind. I'm not going to go into detail about those here, but just so that you can be very effective, be sure to learn more about that skill. But I'd like to spend some time talking about the parenting skills that you need. So parents need all 4 of those 4 basic skills, just like the children do, because those are key skills that are based on principles that everyone needs for maximum freedom, understanding, self-government, and bonding within the family unit. However, we have to solve problems. We have to maintain our roles in the family, right? And that's one of the reasons that we're usually resorting to yelling in the first place, is to make sure that we establish the roles and we maintain those family roles. Well, you don't have to do it through yelling. You can do it by proactively preparing your family to know exactly how you will communicate with them, problem solve with them, including corrections, or even if they're going completely out of control. So there are 5 teaching styles that I teach in my TSG parenting course, which you can find at teachingselfgovernment.com. That's my website. And those 5 teaching styles help the parent to bring about more positive behaviors, as well as how to correct the negative behaviors, and how to have good open communication with the child so that the child also can take personal responsibility and ownership over their thoughts, behaviors, and how they're communicating their feelings to other people. So those 5 teaching styles are absolutely effective if you pre-teach them ahead of time so that the child knows exactly what you're doing. Let's just talk about correction. When you correct your child, instead of emotionally reacting to something or choosing to get emotional, you can choose to get calm. And by the way, I've got a way to help you get calm at the end of this video. So you can choose to get calm, go through your own calm plan, and then you can start describing the situation that happened, why it wasn't a good choice, what they should have done instead, then what consequence they earned. So if they earned a negative consequence according to your family government, your family economy that you have, and then you practice things the right way and praise them during those 3 role play practices. And then be sure to praise them also when they come back from accepting their consequence. Now, they have a skill in those 4 children's books called Accepting Consequences, which will help them prepare to accept their consequences. I know some people think if I just did that process, my child still would not care. That's because they have a habit of not listening to you and not caring. They also have a habit of undermining your role and authority because you're not fully prepared. So get prepared. That makes all the difference. And pre-teach them ahead of time what you will do, and then consistently follow through. Now, of course, we're only scratching the surface here. When I teach about self-government in my parenting mastery trainings and things that are on my website, it's a 3-day process. But I want to just give you a gift that's going to help you get started on that self-government journey just a little bit more than what we've already talked about today. And that gift is a Calm Parenting Toolkit for free. So on my website, teachingselfgovernment.com, right on the homepage, there is something called the Calm Parenting Toolkit that I made years ago, and this is a perfect segue into self-government. This will give you 10 tools for calmness that you and your children can use when you are communicating with each other, and will help you not feel the need to go to anger as much. Now, it is not the full training. You won't learn all of the skills there, but you will learn about self-regulation and calmness, which is really the foundation for using all of the other skills of self-government. So go to teachingselfgovernment.com and just start on that Calm Parenting Toolkit today. I'll see you there.